The current state of World of Warcraft is a disaster. It's a complete joke, in fact. I don't even think that there's a single word that can probably describe how bad things truly are at this point. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that I don't think it can be saved. I don't think it can be changed. World of Warcraft as it is today is going to continue. And it will forever be known as this just poorly written slop gay woman story. And that's pretty much it. Because that's what modern World of Warcraft sadly is. Now, there's going to be three things that I want to talk about here. And for easier viewing, if you want to see a particular comment, look down in the. I'm just kidding. There's no chapters on these videos, but maybe someone in the comment section is nice enough to actually put some timestamps. So the first thing that I want to talk about is going to be the overall situation, what's happening, how we got here, and what is the feel. 2 is the story, and my god, is it bad. 3 is going to be the gameplay itself, which is surprisingly the best it has ever been, but there are like 100 caveats there, which all kind of ruin the fact that it is, unironically, the best it has ever been and ever felt. So let's begin with the current situation of the game, how it feels and what is the vibe. World of Warcraft easily is no longer made for men. Men in general. If you are a man of any kind, white, black, gay, whatever, there's a 90% chance that you are not gonna enjoy what you are currently seeing. And that even goes for a lot of women. Most women don't really appreciate truly what's currently happening. And by the way, if you're already trying and thinking about going in the comments and saying, well, I actually like what's going on, please refer to the meme and try to contain yourself, okay? Please, just try for a moment, okay? In any case, World of Warcraft has been losing players for a very long time. We know this. And it has been a disaster because of it. Blizzard have effectively, since Mists of Pandaria after Wrath of the Lich King, which was the first moment when World of Warcraft actually started losing subs on a major level, they decided that they effectively need to start going towards a newer audience and tap into the untapped potential, the limitless potential of the woman gamer. That's right, ladies. You are the secret Blizzard's success. And the thing about this move is, at this point, it worked. Blizzard achieved what they set out to do. They made World of Warcraft family friendly, and they substantially increased the amount of women playing this game. And that has led to an absolutely, unquestionably unprecedented, disastrous situation. Because you need to understand what's currently happening. The game does not appeal to the super majority of men for multitudes of reasons that we're going to get into a lot more. And they try to fully invest into newer people who don't care about this because this is too complicated for a lot of people. And the mystical woman audience. And women just... If you actually know women who play this game, they all answer the same way about this. And it's a disaster. This is a complete... Trying to cater to the female audience and increase this has been an absolute unparalleled disaster for World of Warcraft. You know what a lot of women... I won't say most, but it is severely more than half. Their answer to the current state of World of Warcraft goes like this. They're fine with the graphics. They're fine with the story. They think that the light being actually not good and maybe evil, and the evil being maybe not evil and just misunderstood is kind of neat. Kind of neat. And Arator is the best story because he's hot. And I'm not joking. It's literally almost every woman agrees that the best storyline is Arator. And that's just because he's hot. And currently he's crying too much to his mom. So even that's kind of starting dwindling because it doesn't matter how hot you are. You can't cry to your mom constantly. That gets unsexy. Yes, women don't really care. They think this is fine, but they don't care. They're not invested. They are fine with what's happening, but they fundamentally do not care. Again, if you care, then refer to the meme. Please, refer to the meme. It's there for a reason, okay? They fundamentally don't care on average. They care about Arator being hot, and that's pretty much it. They don't even really know what his story is about except finding his family or some shit. I'm not even sure that's what the story is about. That's what they say. They just care that he's hot in the animations. That's literally it. And this is the audience that they're catering to. It's not working because they fundamentally don't care. Women fundamentally do not care. Men have been abandoned by poor writing and everything, and now it's effectively a woman's story. Okay, now we're gonna get into the lore part because that's what led us to this disaster. And now it's the lore part, which is literally written by women, as you can see here. These are literally all women that are currently writing World of Warcraft lore. They're making quest designs, they're making this, that, blah, 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 blah. You get the point. It's bad. Okay? The quests, design, the story has been so fucking unbelievably predictable because of this that the moment the people saw that are interested in the lore, and most people have checked out of the lore. And by the way, again, if you're gonna tell me, but I like the lore, again, refer to the meme, please. And by the way, I know that the people who are still interested in the lore are very vocal. By the way, I know you exist. But you're not a majority. You're there. I know you exist, but you're kind of a small package at this point who truly care about the lore. And the lore has gotten so bad at this point to the like people literally can guess the full storyline of a character just from the way that they look. These are Vol'jin, no, the bad troll in Ghostlands. What was his name? I forgot. Whatever. These are his children. Okay, this one's a dude. This one's a woman, and instantaneously everyone knew what's going to be the story. The man is stupid, weak, cowardly. The woman is capable, strong, and smart, and that has also manifested itself. She's the good one because she's a woman. He's the bad one because he's a man. Okay? And that has been every storyline for the past pretty much 5 to 10 years at this point. Whenever you see a man and a woman, you know inevitably that the man is going to get killed and the woman is going to be the hero. Or in some situations, if the woman is kind of evil, like Xal'atath, there's a redemption story brewing right there. I mean, we already had the cinematic about how she didn't choose this, she didn't want to be evil, and you know what I'm talking about at this point, right? In any case, you see this? These are kind of the leaders that are currently here. I don't know who this is. This is a Void Elf. Liadrin. The same. This is a dude who's, by the way, probably gonna become evil or something. And this is Arator's. Was she his aunt, or like Sylvanas, or was she his mom? I don't know. None of these characters have any convictions. All of them are constantly confused. None of them are bad. All of them are friendly. All of them are friends. It's pretty much just cut from the same cloth. It is abysmal. And this is a great example of how storylines are handled. You probably know what this is because this thing fucking went viral when it dropped. She essentially betrays everyone and kills a bunch of people, and at the end of the day, it's like, leave and think about your actions, even though you killed people. Evil, but a woman needs to be forgiven. This guy is dead though, because he's just evil, and he's evil because he's stupid and weak. And he's probably going to end up being killed by his sister. That's my guess. I don't know if that's actually happening. We already kind of have data mine stuff about this. And it's really bad. Every storyline can be pretty much predicted in this way. every piece of dialogue, if you want to actually read these dialogues, I'll just, you can pause the video and read this, but I'll summarize what's currently happening in the realm of dialogue and writing for World of Warcraft. So there's effectively three main types of dialogue that currently can that are currently in use. First of all is this example, and this is poorly implemented and misunderstood attempts at Wrath of the Lich King writing. If you pause it and you read it, you will understand that it's kind of trying to be fucking edgy and horde in the good old days, but it's not, because they have no idea what that means. Second type of dialogue, and by the way, this is the leader of the horde when it comes to the Tauren, a hippie fucking dude with a flower in his head. I think he's the leader. I'm not sure at this point even, but I think he is. And this is the second type of writing. Pretty much My Little Pony friendship is magic style. And then we have the third style of writing. This is the leader for the trolls, by the way. It's what people call Zappy Boy. Okay. And the third style of writing is the classic, never sadly ending fairy tale. We just defeated the evil guy, and the evil guy is just misunderstood, so he's kind of joining our side, and now we're fighting together against the true evil guy. And we're fighting with him, but that person is saying that, like, we're not really allies, because it's the fucking typical fairy tale spiel. Okay, it's literally the fairy tale spiel. Okay, someone's misunderstood from the evil guys, he joins our side, and then we need to defeat the actual evil guy, but we're not actually friends. Grr. Yeah. That's pretty much the three main styles of writing. Everything can be summarized in that. And it's just bad, okay? Since it's majority women written at this point, you have jokes that should have fucking died decades ago still being here. Like, for example, Gammon. Remember him? Yeah. Like, he's a non-stop joke, for example. And the whole world is littered just with these non-stop jokes, parodies, and shitty things, and, things that just take you out of it. The whole world, the whole writing, just... These three styles, by the way, obviously completely conflict with each other. There's no cohesion in them. They can't coexist in the same time period, in the same setting. And that's why you have these sort of situations where there's fucking gammon. There's someone saying, "Oh, remember Wrath of the Lich King?" And then there's like if you want to pause and read this, go ahead. And then there's stuff like this. The Lokosh teaches that the spirit of the horde is not carried by one race alone. And so I came to answer that call. Many here are surprised to see horde and fucking kill. Yes, it's that bad. Okay. Again, it's literally they can't decide is it friendship is magic, or are we attempting to copyright Wrath of the Lich King? That's kind of what's constantly happening here. It's like people and the dialogues just don't make any sense. Like, for example, you have these things, the truth sayers, like I think this is an audit conspiracy theorists or jab or whatever. And I mean, if you want to pause this and read it, you're just wasting your time effectively, because this is like, no one even knows why this is in the game. It makes no sense. No one can figure it out. It's just there, and it's stupid. But this kind of has to have some meaning or whatever. I'm not 100% sure. Then it's no, actually, I guess this is still part of the lore. But this is a part of the lore, okay? 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago, I was memeing about the fact that a farmer in Azeroth decides to put his shovel in the ground. Congratulations, you just found a long-lost empire that actually has always been there and has always been a part of the lore. Because everything was an underground new civilization that's actually old and has always been a part of the world, and you actually know everything about it for some reason. Currently, we are living in the meta of, oh, there's actually a giant island, 1/4 of the size of the fucking continent, right over there. Okay, it's between Pandaria and Northrend. You can't miss it. Why did we never talk about this before? Don't know, but it's an island that's there. Okay, this is kind of low hanging fruit. I honestly guess calling this out, but I mean there has to be a fucking better way to do this than everything is a buried kingdom underground, or it's a fucking giant island that no one knew that exists before. Okay, there has to be a better way to do this. It's getting really old, and people are quite fucking tired of this trope. Yeah. Oh boy, it's not good. And then then there's the gameplay. The gameplay honestly is the best it has been. I would say. I came back. I seriously tried it, and the last time the newest version of World of Warcraft that I played before that was Mr. Pandaria. Okay, and I tried it seriously, and the gameplay is good, but there's so many weaknesses. Okay, and by the way, the gameplay. This is gonna be a hot take, but the rotations, bruh, there are so many classes that have literally 2 to 3 button rotations. Okay? Sub to 3 Rogue has to press Shadow Dance and literally just not the ambush, what's it called? The Shadow Strike into a finisher, and that's the rotation. And when Shadow Dance is off, you just need to pick when the right time to use it. And when Shadow Dance is off cooldown, you just backstab and do the same. Literally 2 button rotation. Frost Mage has effectively 3 buttons when it's not cooldowns. Demonology Warlock has 2 buttons. Without the classic cooldown of what's it called? The one that sends the imps flying. I have already forgotten. And called the Fellstalkers, and the big cooldowns, which you kind of do. But there's so many classes that actually just keep pressing 2 buttons constantly. Okay, it is what it is. And the raids. Okay, listen, boys. From 0, I just instantaneously went into heroic raiding. I did not do mythic because I could not find teams for it. And I did heroic raiding first time in my life in World of Warcraft, and it took me roughly something like 20 to 25 hours to get ahead of the curve on the Illyria copy fight. What's it called? Throne of Star? No, I don't remember it. And the Dream Realm, whatever the fuck it's called, the Chimera. I did not finish the March on Silvermoon. I got fucking bored because the raids are not hard, by the way. Okay? If I have never played before any of these raids and whatnot, and still only 10 to 20% of people have ahead of the curve achievement, and I got 2 out of 3 without any problems. And by the way, since this was my first time doing it, if you want to actually do it, here's the way to do it, okay? I wasted a lot of fucking time because I did not figure this out. I know finding a group is annoying and difficult, but if you are in a raid group and you wipe 2 times and it's not the last phase of the boss, and there's not at least 2 to 3 people or more getting kicked because they failed mechanics or their DPS is too low, start saying that you need to kick people who failed or people with low DPS. Okay, they tried 2 times, it failed. They can go and practice in another raid. Okay, it's fine. And if that doesn't happen, if you wipe 2 times and no one gets kicked, just leave. And if you first say that you should kick the people who failed. Okay, it's a learning curve. Yes, there is that, but you're never gonna finish shit if you don't kick the people who constantly fail. It is what it is, boys. It is what it is. You can probably from 0 to 100 these things in less than 10 hours solo, because I did it solo. I didn't have a group or anything. And I actually really enjoyed the raids. They weren't actually complicated, honestly. Most of the Spire fights are literally fucking easier for deep melee DPS or range DPS than most classic raids. Okay? Katoon has infinity more complex mechanics and need for self-awareness than, I don't know, like 90% of the Spire bosses. It's actually kind of insane. My hot take is that retail's not exactly harder than a classic. Do with that what you will. I know that's gonna piss some people off, but I think it's true. Again, Lost Ark supremacist here, okay? If you want to have hard bosses, go play Lost Ark. That's where the hard bosses are, okay? 3 mechanics, try fucking 20, which all will wipe you, okay? The Machunk Wilderness was probably the only hard raid, but even that was not Lost Ark hard tier. But you know, it did require actually like what 5, 6 people who understood what they're fucking doing and a little bit of practice to do the signs correctly. But whatever, I did not finish that. I got bored and quit. But still, very fun raids, and pressing the buttons is very fun. Even though there's like a lot of classes just have effectively 2 button rotations and one 15-second button and one 1 minute button, it feels good. It feels really good. The button pressing is really good. The professions are absolutely amazing. Now the bad part about the gameplay is the fact that they fucking mess up every class all the time, and chances are if you're playing the game, you're gonna get to max level, and then you're gonna understand, I don't want to play this fucking class. I started by playing a rogue, got to level 70. No, I started with DK, sorry. DK, I got to level 70 and I understood, I don't want to fucking play Unholy and frost his ass. I don't want to play this. It doesn't feel good. So I had to re-level a mage. And that's a lot of the things. And leveling is so fucking slow. And again, the lore is so bad. The world design, it's so boring. People hate leveling. And considering the first class you level up to max is probably gonna, there's a good chance it's not gonna be what you actually like, and you're gonna have to re-level. The fact that leveling takes forever and it's so fucking annoying is a major detriment to new players. And also, every other system is a fucking massive failure. If you are someone who has played World of Warcraft in the current setting, you're not gonna think this. You're gonna call me crazy because you're definitely gonna disagree with this. But the leveling, the gear mechanics make no fucking sense. If you're a new player who has never dealt with the badge system, you're completely lost on how it works, what's happening, what you should save for. Like, the fucking Radiant Sparks. You're supposed to actually not use like 2 of them for the first 3 weeks, and because it's bad. Dude, objectively a system that's giving you a thing to craft so you can get gear, and the best way to play is not use them for the first 2 weeks, otherwise you're fucking yourself, is objectively one of the worst systems ever. The badge system, what comes after what with the names, is so confusing. If you have played this, and when I got used to it, it all makes sense. It's all good. But for it to make sense is such a fucking burden and a hill to actually get over. Like, which this do you do this? How does this work? And none of it's explained. There are no explanations in game for getting Great Vaults or pretty much any of this shit. How it really works. It kind of has explanations, but those explanations are fucking lax at best. And online, you can't find anything for these guides. You can find like you can find the stupidest shit. By the way, I remember when I didn't when I was confused about the badge gearing and how it works. I tried to look up on YouTube and I found just a bunch of Excel spreadsheets that were, okay, you need to take this, this, and this. And by the way, when I learned the game, all of those spreadsheets are fucking useless garbage. What the fuck are you people even doing? Those spreadsheets make no sense. They're not necessary. Why are you spreadsheeting the gear? It's stupid. It makes no sense. It's not. It's not. It's unnecessary. My God. Oh man, it's just insane. Okay, you save the badges here. You save the badges there. No. You just use the lower badges whenever you can because no one cares, and you just care about the last or pre-last badges, and that's it. Solved. 5-second guide. There you go. And again, like everything about them, pressing buttons is fun. The story is awful, and to get your it's such a hustle to get to the point where pressing buttons is fun because you need to go through the story, you need to go through the gay characters, you need to go through this and that. You have to deal with the fact that there's another island here for some reason. It's so tedious. It is so tedious. I understand why they have not published the player numbers for since the launch of Classic because there is no way the current way that World of Warcraft is has any mass appeal. Honestly, it's just for people who are desperate to play something and for people who have already played it forever. That's it. Everything else it fails on. Anyway, that's the video. Have a nice day. Bye.